Alright, what day is it? It's Friday, it's time for some more Lobotomy Corporation. Although, today, you can tell by the music, it's gonna be a little bit spooky. Actually, it's probably not gonna be spooky or interesting at all. It's another interlude episode. I'm sorry. Again, if you're seeing this, it means I didn't have time to do anything proper, and you're getting a sorry excuse for an episode instead, because I don't want to upload nothing on a Friday. Maybe I should. Maybe nothing is better than this, which no one cares about. I don't know. Do people care about that? Do people care about me reading Abnormality stories and musing about how interesting it is, or how not interesting it is, or what it could mean in the grand scheme of things? I don't know, but I got some coffee. I don't have a lot of time. This is gonna be a short one. Feels good. Feels good. I feel pretty much dead inside, actually. So let's start with Big Bird, because I think we haven't read the Big Bird story yet. After we got Big Bird, we've been all so caught up in Apocalypse Bird that we didn't even stop to think about, what about Big Bird? So let's start. Story time. It is a bird with many eyes wandering dark forests with a lamp that never falls dark, aka Big Bird. The creature will stare intently and then bite the head off of anyone, no matter how young or old. What about their gender it encounters? Or maybe it doesn't like redheads? Maybe it doesn't eat them? Instead of wings like a regular bird, the creature has long arms with which it can pick stuff up. A small bird that looks like an eyeball always follows the creature around. A small bird that looks like an eyeball? Are they talking about Punishing Bird? Or is there another small bird? I wish I could... maybe I'm gonna include a picture of Big Bird in the footage now, but I've never noticed another smaller bird. There's a tale of a beast that lays in deep, dark, empty forests that lures creatures. To protect all creatures from this large beast, Big Bird made a wick with all of its feathers. With that wick, it made a lamp that would burn forever. Thank you, Big Bird. You're the best. With the eternally lit lamp, it wandered the forest, warning creatures not to go too deep into the forest. Angela lives there. Thanks to the Big Bird, the number of creatures that were attacked decreased. But still, the Big Bird felt bad for the creatures that died in the hands of the beasts. Big Bird had a thought. If I kill creatures first, they wouldn't be killed by the monster. After that, that's Big Bird's voice, by the way, it's canon now. After that, rumors flew around about a monster that would bite your head off. Yeah, if I just kill everyone else, they won't be killed by the monster. That's such a sound logic. It's basically what I do with Clerks, isn't it? Anyway, it is said that the monster stares victims carefully... What? It is said that the monster stares at victims carefully in order to see if they are the beast that lures creatures. This tale is from a town in location redacted area. It is an oldest folk tale from around the town, and it was told by the town's oldest inhabitant, redacted, Christopher. Although there's a general assumption that the tale was told to prevent kids from going into the forest, it is uncertain who started the tale. Ah, shit, it's the witch of the forest. All over again. Don't go into the forest, kids. There's a witch living there. No, it's actually not a witch. It's my fucking mistress. And I just don't want you to find my second mansion on this island. Here we go. Spoilers for something I won't name, but whoever knows what I'm talking about definitely knows what I'm talking about. The tale was not a lie. We found the Big Bird in the forest after all. And afterwards, we looked for the beast that lures humans. We looked in every nook and every corner. A month later, we concluded there was no such thing as the beast, other than that Big Bird. Dun dun dun. He's just indiscriminately killing everyone. There's no bigger goal whatsoever. You don't say. The Abnormality is certainly unaware of the concept of death. Is it now? Abnormalities in this company can be categorized into two. First, creatures that knows what death is very well and will attack to kill. Second, the type of creatures are aware of the concept of death, but they don't have any ill will in its attack. This abnormality is neither. To this creature, death in itself is salvation. If the creature ripped the head off of a lost girl in the forest, it did not commit murder. It saved the girl from a monster. We can't do anything when the creature has its eyes opened. It stares intently. When it continues to stare, omit it. So first we need to put it to sleep. When all the eyes fall asleep, we can start our work. Man, as much shit as I just gave this story, it's actually pretty interesting, right? Big Bird became a monster in order to, like, protect people from an even bigger monster, but when you actually look into it, there was no monster in the first place, so maybe Big Bird has just some mental issues. Who knows? Maybe Big Bird needs some help. Maybe Big Bird needs a good therapist, or a good, like, maybe we just need to talk to Big Bird. Maybe that would help. Then again, let's not, because, oh, well, I could send a few clerks over to talk to him, maybe. And continuing with the bird theme, I guess, let's take a look at this, because we haven't looked at this together yet, have we? It's the Apocalypse Bird Abnormality page. The big eyes confined the light, the long arm hid the time, the small beak whispered endlessly, and as long as they exist, the Apocalypse Bird will not disappear. So those are your hints as to how to beat this thing, right? And it even gives you some hints to what they do, since the long arm hit the time. It's the thing that disables the pause button, which is, in my opinion, the thing that's the most annoying, since if you have a pause button, you can dodge like 99% of the attacks in this game, except for the bullshit ones like the claw. Like the claw dash. Fuck that noise. Anyway, let's read the Abnormality story for this. Oh, it's a long one, I think. Strap in, everyone. A bird that is known to come when the world is filled with sins. Many employees fear the advent of this bird. If we want to talk about this bird, we must tell the story of the Black Forest first. We must not forget that forest, once so beautiful and peaceful. And the apocalypse shall come after that. It's funny, since there is a Black Forest in Germany. I wonder if there's an apocalypse bird there. Maybe I should check. Tales from the Black Forest. A long time ago, in a warm and dense forest, lived 3 happy birds. The birds had no names, but creatures in the forest called them Big Bird, Long Bird, and Little Bird. Everyone lived freely and happily together in the forest in peace. The birds wanted the forest to be safe more than anyone, so creatures from outside can come and visit to have fun. It was a warm and sunny afternoon when a stranger visited the peaceful forest. He was a traveler, pioneer and prophet, but at the same time, he was nothing. He wanted to come into the forest, but the birds didn't let him, because they found him suspicious. The stranger, angered, told the birds as he left, "Tragedies will come to this forest soon. It will be tainted with sins and evil, and fights will never stop. Tragedies will stop once a terrible monster devours everything. The sun and moon will shine upon you no longer. The forest will never go back to what it was before." The birds became worried because of this prophecy. What if the fights never stop, and a terrible monster devours everything as he said? The birds decided to become sentinels of the forest. They loved this forest, so they wanted to protect the creatures living in it and keep the peace. Big Bird, with his many eyes, watched over the forest to seek trespassers. Big Bird's eyes can see very far, and things we can't see. Then somebody said, "But what should we do if the monster comes in at night when everyone's asleep?" Big Bird became worried, so he burned all of his feathers to make an everlasting lantern. Thank you, Big Bird. Now, the creatures in the forest were under Big Bird's watch, day and night. Long Bird weighed the sins of creatures that Long Bird weighed the sins of creatures that entered the forest to keep peace. Long Bird's scales could measure every sin, and were fair and just. Then somebody said, "But what should we do if the scales don't tip to any direction?" Longbird became worried, so he made scales that tip to only one direction, so he can get the result under any situation. Oh, Longbird, never change, you stupid motherfucker. Little Bird decided to punish bad creatures with his beak. Then somebody said, "But your beak is so small, no one would find it painful." Little Bird became worried, so he split his mouth to make it big enough to devour any creature in one bite. Bless you, Little Bird. No one wanted to visit the forest anymore. Bad rumors about the forest started spreading outside. Whoever enters that forest ends up in a terrible situation. No creature is free because Big Bird is watching them all the time. Yeah, that was Mickey Mouse. Longbird's scales are not fair at all. Little Bird's punishment is so scary. The birds were angry. Why would they spread rumors like that when they were working hard to protect the forest? Fewer and fewer visitors came to the forest. Creatures were complaining. Fights broke out daily. And the birds worked even harder to make the forest peaceful again. This forest is too big and wide to protect with only the 3 of us. But there is no creature who can protect this forest but us. If we can merge our strength together, we might become stronger. Was that Big Bird's voice? Must have been, right? He sounded like a dummy. The day we... Sorry, Big Bird, I'm so sorry. The day when Big Bird's eyes that can see hundreds of kilometers away... That sentence. Fuck me, I don't think I can salvage it. Longbird who can judge any sin, and Little Bird's mouth that can devour everything merged together. Okay, now it makes sense, sorry. Darkness fell upon the forest. So the day when all of it merged together, darkness fell upon the forest. The creatures screamed in fear at the sight of the bird. The forest fell into a chaos zone. In chaotic cries of fear, somebody shouted, "It's the monster! Big, terrible monster lives in the dark, black forest!" Monster? 3 birds, now as one, looked around to find the monster, but couldn't find it. The birds started looking for the monster, wandering the forest. It's dangerous if the monster's in the forest. But there was nothing. There were no creatures, no sun and moon, and no monster. All that is left is just a bird and the black forest. Only a cold, dark night continued from then. And rumors say there's a terrible monster in the black forest where no one lives. Oh, so far that's fucking amazing. Oh, it's not well written. I mean, I can't really judge the original text, but the story behind it, that they were just so overprotective that in the end, they became the actual monster. And the dude that gave them the prophecy just made them so crazy and unsure about stuff. You know, they got tilted. They got tilted hard. That's all that happened. The fucking prophecy dude was probably just a hobo speaking nonsense because he was drunk or something. And then they think, oh fuck, what the fuck are we gonna do? Let's just kill everyone. Come on. If there's no one left to protect, we have protected everyone. So, a testimony of a survivor. Every single light in the facility went crazy. They kept going on and off. I couldn't even use a lighter. How does that work? Then, a warm light shone through. It looked like a waning twilight or a rising morning sun. But as we all know, sunlight can't come into the facility. We silently gazed at the light. A sudden darkness and weird gleam of light were enough reasons to be frightened. It was scarier than any gory scenes we saw here. It was a fear of unknown itself. Omitted. Something was coming from afar. Incandescent lights like stars in the space were walking towards us. They looked like Big Bird's eyes. But it was not him. I heard those long arms scratching on the floor. Someone whispered, "There's someone who couldn't run away." There was an employee kneeling on the floor, as if he couldn't sense the thing approaching from behind him. He couldn't scream. He was just meaninglessly struggling to move his legs. There was no heroic act of another employee standing against the monster, or even a scream that tells him to watch out. Everyone was just looking at him, expecting the terrible thing that was about to happen. Fucking hell, that's horrible. Every step sent tremors to the whole facility. The monster was walking at a very slow pace, but it seemed so fast. It devoured the employee in one bite, and at that moment, everyone started screaming in chaos. I succeeded in numerous suppressions, but that day, for the first time, I regretted ever joining the company. I was sure that I wouldn't get out of here alive. This helplessness overwhelmed me. I couldn't even think about suppressing the monster. I think I'm the only one who is intact enough to write among the survivors. The company will never tell new employees about the presence of that monster, but I want to warn them. That's why I'm writing this. Dude, we already did it, and we came out stronger than ever. You're probably just a fucking scrub. Where are you working? Control team? What level are you? 2? Jesus Christ. He bad. Okay, now this is an abnormality. I'm really looking forward to reading its story, since it's just so goddamn weird. It's probably one of the weirdest designs in the whole game, in my opinion. It's the Dreaming Current, because everything else is kind of grounded with some kind of concept, but I can't really tell what this is really about. So, okay. Just keep showing that book. Oh, it must be a page with a photo since it can't read the words. Wait a second, is that the start of the story? What? If the experiment goes a bit longer, try drawing its attention, like mimicking sounds. I don't need to explain every detail, right? Did we unlock everything for this? We must have. I got the true ending. It just jumped straight in, and I don't know what it's talking about. Yes, I know, it's so sad and pitiful. I also feel the same emotions too, thanks. But consequently, this place allowed for its survival, and it will be good to let it continue living here regardless of the form it takes if you think the same. No, regardless of the form it takes. If you think the same, it will be better for all of us for you to drop that guilt you're feeling right now. Huh? Tell the kids today is going to be grape-flavored candy. It's his favorite. Can anyone shine some light on this fucking story for me? I don't understand anything. Some excerpts from the encyclopedia. Contrary to popular belief, most sharks are small in size. Very few species actually harm humans. No matter what people say, the most distinctive aspect of a shark is its strong jaw and teeth. A shark's jaw can apply an intense amount of force, around 20 times that of a full-grown human. What? 20 times the force of my jaw? Or what are you talking about? What force, really? Also, its vision and sense of smell are super advanced, allowing it to locate its prey easily. This is how sharks survived as the ocean's greatest predators. The parents long deserted the child. They were told that the child wouldn't survive more than 2 years because of the infection. The researchers were the child's mother and father. He learned how to coo and walk there. Huh? Although unable to talk properly, the child preferred the ocean. Instead of visiting the ocean, the child was given candy which allowed the child to see the ocean. Many colorful nights and days passed. Oh god, did they drug him? The child who was thought to die within 2 years managed to live for a very long time. He continued to listen and obey, loved sweet candy, and loved this place as home. Unfortunately, the child could only run shakily around inside a cramped lab instead of a grass field under the sun. His only concern was what kind of candy to eat tomorrow. He's a bubble boy. Okay, the first part of this, like everything up to here, makes no fucking sense really. Although it is talking about grape-flavored candy and it's talking about candy later on again. But this down here reads like there was a child and the child had something with its health, I guess. It was supposed to die in like 2 years. So the mother and father didn't really care about like raising the child properly since they thought it was gonna die anyway. They just gave him drugs which helped him visit the ocean. Instead of visiting the ocean, the child was given candy which allowed the child to see the ocean. So they must have drugged him up like from head to toe, I don't know. Given him some painkillers probably if he was sick. Many colorful nights and days passed. He was probably tripping balls 24/7. Poor kid. So, and he didn't die after all, I guess. I don't know, did they fight against his sickness or not? I don't know. So he managed to live for a very long time. And they didn't know what to do with him, so they just made him listen and obey. And they just kept feeding him candy. And then he turned into some kind of weird ass shark abnormality. Honestly, this sounds like a course of action that's very plausible and just regular for Lobotomy Corporation. Okay, further cleaning up the abnormality stories with the meat lantern. This was a bad one. It always stuck under the floor in the containment unit, only showing its eyes and mysterious luminous body above the ground. Nobody knows what it actually looks like. It moves underground, not through the hallway, making it impossible to predict its path when escaping. For the same reason, its escape won't be detected. But if it can escape like that, how do you contain it in the first place? If it's even under the floor of the containment unit, how do you keep it there? That doesn't make much sense, does it? Anyway, there's a voice record here from Lloyd. Are you located nearby the information team? I've heard some employees went missing around that area. Would you mind checking to see if there's any abnormalities that's performing spatial interference? there's no abnormality with that ability near here. I haven't detected any escaped abnormality neither. Look everywhere. Well, Lloyd, there's no sign of any abnormality, but I do see a small flower on the ground. What are you talking about? What flower? The bud is glowing. It's amazing. It's strange finding something so green here when we don't get sunlight here. It's so bright that some of the other employees came to look at the flower. You need to come and see it. The light is so bright and warm. I feel like something good is about to happen. That's not a flower. Order all the employees to get away immediately. Do not run away in a group. You have to slowly escape one by one with quiet steps. What are you talking about? I thought I told you that there's nothing nearby. Wait, I think I just felt a slight trembling underneath my feet. Is someone fixing the pipes today? Damn, you're screwed. Just enjoy the flower. I feel like their voices changed over the course of the story, but fucking hell, Paul. RIP. F in the comments for Paul. He dead now, I think. Got the meat lantern. That was a really bad abnormality, even though I got it really late. I don't know, I couldn't deal with any more stuff that just broke my balls like that. The game is already hard enough. I'm dreading to think of the future days of the gauntlet. Oh, is there another story for us to read? Alright, I think it's 2 more. The next one is The Heroic Monk. This abnormality is made based on the idea of the Tumblebug backer Najun. Oh yeah, it's a DLC one, isn't it? In Redacted Century, a monk named Redacted from Redacted area walked the path of Redacted. No, it's the path of the Buddhist. I don't really like when half the story is redacted. Seeking the true enlightenment, he was on his way home country. He was on his way home? Or he was on his way to his home country? What does this sentence mean? I'm just gonna read it like that. Fuck it. He was on his way home country to spread his philosophy when he heard about an old monk being cremated in the town nearby. He decided to go and see it, but a man stopped him. Sir, there's a rumor about an evil spirit lingering in that town. Evil spirits are naturally born from people's hearts. How can I miss a cremation of a great old monk because of a rumor? He answered. People from all around the town were gathered in the ceremony. They were gazing at the standing corpse of the old monk and chanting the name of Avalokitesvara. Avalokitesvara, Avalokitesvara, Avalokitesvara. Wow, that went better than I thought. The chant was coming out of more of desperation for something they are yearning for rather than commemoration. The fire started cracking as it fed with kindling. The sound of wooden percussion echoed, and the chanting got louder and louder. Soon, the crowd started buzzing with nervousness. Something is not right. Oh god, what's gonna happen? People were massively disappointed by the amount of sarira. Oh yeah, it's like the stuff left over when you cremate them, and sometimes it's just treated like an artifact. Sarira is a fucking crazy concept, and it's apparently a real thing, which makes it even weirder. There were barely 2 spoons of them. Dumbfounded people soon turned into an angry crowd. It does not make any sense that such a great monk had only this little sarira. He did not practice enough asceticism. He must not have done enough good deeds. The monk was also baffled. He was not familiar with such obsession with sarira at the cremation, and he himself was expecting the amount of sarira that such a great monk deserves. He talked to a man behind him in the crowd. How can they be so upset in such a sacred ceremony? Poor and hungry commoners yearn for miracles to save them. By your looks, I assume that you are also on the path of a Buddhist. This event must have worried you. A very old man in the crowd answered instead. Sarira forms when a monk batters his body and spirit, and finally reaches nirvana. It is a natural process, and not to be artificially wanted. How do you call it a miracle? The monk answered in a slightly disturbed tone. Then the old man burst out of laughter. The cremated monk is well known for his good deeds. Ha ha ha! He shared his food to the hungry, and clothes to those who are cold. However, as they say, it seems he couldn't reach the true nirvana as only 2 spoons of sarira came out. Oh god, this story is making me very self-conscious. I don't know. He ended up being a poor monk who couldn't achieve nirvana even though he was respected and known as a benevolent living saint. Do you think you will be any different?
I have proudly practiced.
A monk from Temple Redacted has earned more than 300 spoons of Sarira. Colorful lights sparkled across the sky as the crowd paid devout praise, and the Sarira were round as bead. The emperor himself ordered to build 4 temples in his name. The monk couldn't say anything. Wait, isn't the whole point of monks and Buddhism that you're not caring about anything that happens in life? Like, true Zen means that you accept things however they are and you don't judge them as good or bad, right? So why are they doing this? Why are they judging the Buddhist monks like that? And why is the heroic monk so disconcerted with this whole situation? It doesn't matter how much Sarira comes out. Maybe he reached nirvana, but there wasn't any Sarira, and maybe he didn't reach nirvana. Does it matter at all? Doesn't he get... There's a cycle of rebirth in Buddhism, right? Of course you want to break it, I think, but does it matter if you don't break it? Is it really that bad? Anyway, the monk couldn't say anything.
But the creation of Sarira is a natural process.
It is well known that Buddha had enough Sarira to fill a grand palace when he was cremated. Someday, your body will fail and eventually lead you to the eternal heaven. Someday, people will be there for your cremation, just like this. ... If nothing is harvested from your remains, you will be a sinner of the 3 worlds, and your path will reach nowhere. However, if enough Sarira to make everyone watch in awe comes out of you, your name will be sung through generations. The emperor will be awestruck and build a huge temple in your name, and the people will chant looking at the pagoda of that temple. He shouldn't care about that. Like, material and physical gains. Is that the right word? Shouldn't matter for him. Anyway, he continues with a lot of ... This me old man is telling you this because I can see you becoming a greatest monk. A few hours of walk from here, there's a mount called Redacted. Go up there and you will see several old pagodas. Inside of them are boxes of Sarira of long-forgotten great monks. They will return to soil if nothing happens to them. But if you consume them, perhaps you will let out more Sarira than Buddha himself. Is he the devil? Fucking hell. Then the monk realized that this old man had a suspicious look and did not sound like his age. He tried to look at the old man's face, but he was nowhere to be found in an instant. The monk concluded it as a devil's play, here we go, and tried to forget, but the old man's voice lingered in his ears, even when he tried to sleep. I'm pretty sure eating the remains of dead monks is not considered Zen at all. The monk couldn't sleep. He decided to take a walk in the night. However, he found himself around the pagodas that the old man mentioned. There was supposed to be a few hours of walk away from his bed. Feels like the devil's work, really. For a long time, only a chant saying Buddha mantra echoed through the pagodas, around the pagodas even. Excerpt from a fable in Redacted area. Oh god, here we go. In the night, a weird sound can be heard around the pagodas and statues in Redacted area. It is said that the source of this sound is a demonic creature that has long arms, claws, and an unnaturally big mouth. Some say this creature has a shattered bead, but it is not confirmed yet. After this creature appears, people found that offered Sarira boxes are forcefully opened and the contents inside of them are gone. Furthermore, the monk staying in this providence must not sleep alone, should carry a talisman that repels demonic spirits. This tale has led to the tradition of chanting these lines when cremation takes place. Here we go. Is this Korean? Because it's written in... Isn't it written in Japanese? Anyway, here we go. I'm gonna try my best for this one, okay? Yo sung sao. Kill me o pupil sung. Marayo bugu krak vas vangsang. But I can translate this to you because I think... Give me a second. I think it translates roughly to... Are you a monk? No, you are no longer a monk. And the last one, that one is really hard, but I think it means a demon shall never reach heaven. Roughly. I think. So it is told to the monks who have not realized that they have become a demon. Wow. A very powerful story, especially for a very long as well, for a Tumblebug backer, so for a DLC one. I enjoyed that one. And the last one is gonna be a good one, since it's gonna be Bald is awesome, everyone. Bald is a little bit awesome. So let's see. Warning, you have taken Baldy Bald mental damage. Oh, I've taken Baldy Bald damage too in my life, I think. If this article is read by non-bald individual, they will have the privilege of getting bald. Yes! If you want to stop this from happening, you must be assigned to work on this abnormality. Wait, don't you get bald when you work on this as well? If you find more than 10 strands of hair on the pillow in the morning... Oh, shit. It is recommended to read this article 3 or more times. Oh, crap. Bill, I had an amazing dream today. What kind of dream? Did you win a lottery or something? Everyone here was bald. James, you, and everyone else in the facility. And maybe everyone outside of this facility. I think you've been stressed a lot recently. Why don't you take counseling? Employee Bill was sacrificed to the singing machine that day. Oh god, Bill, no! Many employees mourned for him, but the important question is, how much Sarira came out of his body? Right after the incident, Abnormality Bald is Awesome has appeared. We all cherish memories of Bald Bill. Oh, fucking hell. Bill is just Abnormality. It all clicked in my head. I feel like the smartest motherfucker right now. If a person is contacted by this abnormality, for 1 hour, they talk or write about how being bald is good. And eventually, they make themselves bald. If you're bald, you can save time because you don't have to wash and dry your hair anymore. If a bald employee is assigned to this abnormality, it will not show any reaction. You don't have to worry about balding if you are bald. On the other hand, if a hairy employee is assigned to this abnormality, they will start shaving their own hair. Bald people can reflect light on their smooth head and blind opponents. Isn't it amazing? It is. This abnormality's final goal is to make every single human being on this earth bald. You don't need light bulbs if there are a lot of bald people, because light reflects on their head infinitely. You can save on your electricity bill. If hairy employees are not assigned to this abnormality regularly, its mood status will decrease. Do you know that nobles in Middle-aged Europe were all bald? They changed their wig every day. The more you know. Fuck, I learned something. And we added some new rules to the company code of behavior. Employees F curse who mock their co-workers for being bald. What is this sentence trying to say? Let's just say it's meant to say employees who mock their co-workers for being bald will be permanently banned from using the lounge and joining company debate club. Why don't bald Barbies exist? Gourmet club, lovely octopus. Oh, because it looks like a bald head. And the environmental movement club. We are worried about decreasing the number of bald eagles. Oh, that was a little bit of a dad joke, I think. The ban will be lifted if the employee's number of hair strand goes below 1. Which means 0. None. Niente. In the memory of employee TH, who is taking anti-balding medicine next to me right now. I wonder if this is about Project Moon, and if there maybe was someone in Project Moon that didn't want to go bald or something, and they must have been good friends. I don't know. It's a little bit of a passion project, isn't it? And so they decided to add this abnormality to make a little bit fun of him. I guess in good jest. It's all just bands, everyone. It's all just mad bands. Anyway, ending with this on a high note, on a bald note even. I'm gonna say goodbye, and I'm gonna hope that you still enjoyed this. I very much enjoyed this. I think every now and then I need something calm like that, especially with the endgame cycle like ahead of us. I need something to calm down. I need something to just reflect on my failings and give me time to get some fresh energy so we can continue on and hopefully not lose too many people, because god damn it, it hurts even though I don't show it usually, okay? It hurts when I fuck up like that. So, next week, whenever or whatever that should be, again, I'm recording this in advance. Hopefully something more fun for you. I don't know. Was this fun for you or not? Let me know. Sometimes the views and likes on the videos are very, erratic. Sometimes I get 500 views and like 200 likes. Sometimes I get like 100 views and 100 likes. Sometimes I get like 1,000 views and only 20 likes or something. Not necessarily. That was not necessarily true. The numbers are different, but it's very weird because each video behaves, or rather performs differently, and I can't really tell if people really don't like these abnormality stories, for example, or only when I talk, or maybe there's just people that really want to see my gameplay, and I have to think, what is wrong with those people? My gameplay is not good whatsoever. I guess you want to see me fail. Is that the fun? You can watch me fail to read. I think I've said this before. So let's just end it there, and next week I'll see you again. Hopefully with more energy. Have a good one, everyone. Try not to go bald if you don't want to, and try to stay awesome if you are bald. Bye.